My name is Phil Ayache. I'm the president of Bespoke Technology Group out of Dallas, Texas. We were directed to Brandon, who is the owner of Mamani. He's a great restaurateur. He had originally wanted one sound. We brought him down to one of our clients, Saya, in Dallas, and I just handed him the iPad. I said, play what you want, loud as you want. And he sat there for about 15 minutes going through a whole spectrum of music from classical to EDM. And next thing you know, we're designing the project. Brandon and his brother Henry spend a lot of time in London. So that was kind of the feel they were going for. That with, elegant fine dining. They brought in a Michelin chef. It had to be music and sound to the level to match the food and the decor in the space. Without question, that's one sound through and through. The speakers were all perfectly matched to the paint. Another one where Julia spent months going back and forth with designers and ownership to pick just the right colors. It looks really good in the space. It sounds amazing. It's our first time using the sub 28s, which sound incredible in that space. It was a fairly hard space, physically hard, curved ceilings, hard walls, Venetian plaster, and it still came out excellent. The banquettes was an interesting one. Multiple times had to modify benches on site to get the subs to fit, but they came out perfect. I mean, they are maybe 1.5 millimeters, 2 millimeters of space on top of the sub, on either end of the sub. I mean, it really just fits in that spot. And it's an impressive amount of air pressure that those subs put out. First turned it on the first day before I was tuning. I had to pause for a minute and just listen to it. It's just impressive to hear them in the bench and produce that much volume of sound without being too disruptive to anyone sitting on them, which was actually a very major concern of theirs. That Brandon went and sat on top of every single sub in the restaurant. I love clients that care that much about the end result, that they want it to be perfect for the diners. They want it to be even throughout, that no seat is better or worse than another in this space. And Brandon really had that passion. One sound's never steered us wrong. Lou's never steered us wrong. He's a genius at what he does. And the cancellation on the top of those subs is impressive, especially for speakers that don't have active cancellation. And that's just good engineering. Considering that I had, not heard these subs outside of the trade show. I trusted Lou a lot. We worked with Lou, we worked with Rudy on the design and the placement of the speakers and the space and the Oralis. And we went back and forth with a few designs. Ultimately, it worked out great. Tons of headroom in the system. It sounds great. The main dining rooms are all C5s. Main foyer room, and with it open to the kitchen and the kitchen noises, we just did C6s in there just to kind of cover the space. They were firing from a little further on the edges. And that worked out well. And then C5s again in the bar area. Bar area, we did custom stain finish, and then everything else was painted. The patio was also C5s. And that has just floor subs sitting on planter spikes in the flower bed. We did the full IT stack, all the cameras, hallway to the bathroom and the bathrooms. That's all RCF. It's all powered by PowerSoft Unicas. The whole facility is. Yeah, I like to think the end result is great. They've hired us for a couple more projects that we've already started. So I imagine they did that because they were happy with how we did here. And we're actually redoing a couple of their pre-existing venues, which we're going to be putting one sound into.